Hey everybody, welcome back to Women Carry Knives. I'd like to start out tonight by giving a big shout out to Big Red EDC. He has been absolutely amazing as my husband and I, Therapeutic Edge, have started out our channels for all of his support. His shout outs, he's been there to answer questions. He's just been great. He has an awesome channel. Goes over every knife you can think of. He has an awesome Saturday Knife Live group that is just a ton of fun. He is an awesome guy. If you guys have not checked him out, please absolutely go and do so. Give him your support. He's a great guy. With that said, tonight we are going to be reviewing a new knife. This was given to us by Adrian from Designs and will be passed on to the pass around group. And this is for the Designs Oni. This is a great little front flipper. Now, really quick, my first front flipper, and I just have to say this, my first front flipper was the HEA Designs front flipper, and I fell in love with this one at Blade Show. And I just had to have it. Now this I would consider a larger front flipper. The blade style is just, scary, I would say. But just for a little bit of size comparison. Then from there I went on to the Tucson. And this is also a great front flipper. This one is a little tougher for me. It is small. But then I had the opportunity, and we're going to put these aside, to get my hands on this Design prototype Oni. And I have to say that this is definitely one that I will add to my collection. I love this. It is an S35VN steel blade. It is titanium, frame lock, titanium pocket clip. This is a tiny little knife. It is absolutely great. Now, he didn't start out making knives, but this is where we're going now. And this would be the little mini, his little first mini front flipper. Now, in total, your blade length is just almost 2 inches, right about 2 inches. Your blade length is 3 inches. It's only 5 inches. This is a tiny little knife. I do love it. When I first got it, I wasn't sure because I thought, oh, the detent was a little bit too strong. But the more I sat here and played with it, the more I really fell in love with this one and thought, you know, I really need to add this to my front flipper collection. It is super smooth. Now, I did have a problem when I first got them with the frame lock. I love where this is positioned, the pocket clip, because it doesn't allow me to get my fingers on the frame lock, which is usually what I find happens when I'm trying to open the front flippers. Because that pocket clip is right there, and because it's a good size pocket clip, it does make it much easier for me to keep my fingers off the pocket clip. Once you get to where you play with it for a little while, it flips so smoothly. The handle design makes it very comfortable in hand. It is ambidextrous, if you want to see that. It has a lanyard hole, so if you'd like to put a lanyard on it. Most of my small ones that have a lanyard hole, I prefer to put a lanyard on it because, number one, most women's pockets don't have deep pockets, but the ones that do, sometimes they're really deep and they can get lost in there. This feels really good in hand. Now, if you have larger hands, I can see where you're going to have a problem with this. And Therapeutic Edge is actually doing his review on the carbon fiber version with the jimping on the top of this blade. You can get that right. It really allows you to choke up. And like I said, the way the handle is, it's for me, it's just a 3-finger. Now, I prefer to have one more finger on there. But because of the jimping, and it's a deep groove jimping, it really, really lets you just get up on this knife and you feel super comfortable with it. Now, sometimes the titanium can be a little slippery, but due to the fact that you have that jimping up there, if you're going to get up on it like that, your hand's not gonna slip. I absolutely love this one. I love the blade style of it. I love the look of it. I love, like I said, the handle design. I think it's absolutely gorgeous that way. It fits so well with the blade. I was at one point trying to finger flick this, but it wasn't really, yeah, I can't really get it, but I can take my fingernail polish off. Look at that. You can also slow flip it if you have a hard time getting in there and flipping it really hard. I think for a larger hand, because it will leave marks on your finger, I think for a larger hand, if you can't just flip it out there, because, you know, you're kind of, the way you're pushing on it, it really kind of will wear on your thumb. So if you can't do a fast flip on this, if your hands are larger, as I said, you can do a slower rolling flip, which still also works. It is a comfortable knife, you know, again, because it is a prototype and it doesn't belong to me. It's going back around the Apex group. I haven't really done any hard use with it. I'm not going to. If it was mine, yeah, I might play with it a little more, maybe do a little more hard use on it. But for what I have used it for, it's worked great. I mean, you really can't go wrong with this knife. The only issue I ever have with the front flippers, like I said, and that's why I really love the pocket clip on this one, is because I tend to get my fingers around it. And obviously, if you're keeping your fingers on the pocket clip, on the frame lock, you're not going to be able to flip it out. But if you look at, like, my HEA has a very narrow pocket clip. And that makes it so where I can get my hand around it. But what happens is I tend to put my hand on the frame lock. Also with my Tucson, same thing. Your pocket clip is a lot smaller and your frame lock is a bit wider. So same thing. This one, on the other hand, the pocket clip is wider. It kind of helps protect you from putting too much of your fingers on that frame lock and really lets you get into this knife. You can flip it. It's so snappy. I really do love it. I think this is a great design. I think he's done a very good job. If you do like the smaller knives, if you like this style, the front flipper style, I would absolutely say you need to pick one up. You need to check it out. I think, in my honest opinion, I wouldn't dismiss it just by looking at it. Get it in your hand and get a feel for it. Like I said, when I first played with it, I wasn't too sure about it. But then the more I played with it, the more I thought, you know, this is really awesome. I think the biggest thing for me is I love the way the frame lock is done. I really love the way the pocket clip is done because, again, it allows me to keep my fingers off that frame lock when I'm trying to flip it. I can keep it on the pocket clip itself, and then I can flip it out. It's a light knife. It's only about, I believe we weighed it a little bit earlier, I believe it's a little over 2.5 ounces. So it is a very nice light knife. All in all, and I love the blue. I love the blue pivot. Just gorgeous. All in all, I think this is a really great knife. Again, I would never dismiss a knife without getting it in my hand. You can't tell what something's going to be like unless you get it in your hand and you have the chance to play with it. And I don't mean just pick it up, flip it once and put it down. Give it a few minutes, you know, really get a feel for it. Move your hand up, get up on the jimping, really feel it. Don't just stay back here because you're not going to get a good grip on it. Give them a chance. This is definitely one that if you flip it a couple times, you really play with it, get it in your hand, get a feel for it, I really think you would fall in love with it too. Now, my husband has the carbon fiber one, which is actually here. I'm going to pull it out. I think this one actually is as smooth as the titanium. Now, this one is a frame lock, so it's a little bit snappier to me. Or I'm sorry, it's a liner lock. It also has a great pocket clip on it. It's got some interesting coloring on this one. If you can tell, it's kind of got that yellow on there. I think front flippers are really something that once you know, you get your hand in the right position and you know how you want to do it, they are absolutely fun. I know a lot of people don't care for them, but I don't think anybody's really given them a fair chance. I love this prototype. I can't wait until these come out into production. I would love to have one myself, and we'll definitely be looking into them once they come out. I think you guys should too. If you're a fan of the front flipper, maybe you're not a fan of the front flipper, but you're a fan of the small knife, still give it a chance. Check it out. Well, thanks for joining me again tonight on the Adrian's Oni Dam Design knife. This is an awesome little knife. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'd love to hear of you guys here on a regular basis. Have any questions, any comments, please feel free to leave them down in the comments section. I love talking to you guys. Again, you get a chance, don't forget to check out Big Red EDC. Great channel, super fun on Saturday Night Live. He loves talking to people. You have any questions for him, go ahead and check out his video. Leave him a question. He will answer you. He's such an awesome guy. Thank you again so much for joining me. Until next time.